Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
And we're back, Jared, for 2020. Welcome.
It's so good to be back. I think last year, 2019, we started strong.
Can I tell you my comparison?
Yeah.
I feel like we were a bit like a mid-season draft player. We came in, we were a bit unsure about ourselves, and we just sort of floated around. But now it's 2020, and we've got a contract, and we feel part of it.
Well, we're not Marley and Pickett.
No.
We are Will Snelling, who got recontracted and got to stay with Essendon.
We're not like the Carlton bloke who came over from Perth and got the arse.
DeLuca.
Yeah.
Was it DeLuca?
Yeah, I think so.
Adrian DeLuca?
Yeah. They promised him the world.
Yeah.
Made the trip over
Delivered
from
him
Perth
an Atlas.
and said, back you go, son.
That's so bad. He's like, see you later, Freo. Going to get more opportunities. Next minute, David Teague says, no, that's not a thing because we've recruited Eddie Betts.
Yep.
And Jack Martin
Yep.
and heaps of other players that aren't you.
That's right.
So see you later.
Stiff.
Anyway, here's your polo shirt and leave the tag on because we'll resell that later.
That's right.
I actually got told that once by a club that I worked for. They said, hey, mate, you can wear this top today when you MC, but leave the tag on because we'll sell that after the
kidding.
game. And it's not because I was wearing
No.
it. It was because they wanted to make some cash out of it. So I wasn't.
That's ridiculous.
I don't normally crack the shits, but I cracked the shits that day.
Absolutely. You
It's
should have
good-
signed it.
No, it's good to be back, mate. I think, as you said, we started last year, kind of mid last year, and it was good. And then we got busy, but now our lives have kind of
Settled.
yeah, they have settled, and we're in a position where we can do this at a regular time every week as
Yep.
well, which is great. Did you get new ink?
I did, yes.
Oh wow!
that long ago.
Talk us through the ink because it's very shiny. Have you got cream on it?
I do. I just put some Bepanthen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just put some of that on it.
I've put that on a part of my body I probably won't say on the
No.
podcast before because it helps with rashes.
Right.
So, talk us through it.
So I got that, it's a week and a half old.
Right.
So pretty new. It's just for people listening, it's a portrait of the Brooklyn Bridge with the Empire State Building in the background, a few other buildings, and then a young child just standing there admiring the enormity of
What inspired
New York
that?
City. I'm going to be looking at having kids in the next sort of 12 months, and I want to raise my kids in a manner that they take the world head on, no matter how scary it is.
Is there something you're not telling me?
No.
Okay.
I'm not pregnant.
Okay.
Neither's Kira.
Okay, great. Well, you've answered both of my
Yes.
upcoming
No.
questions then. All right, so let's talk about what we're doing with this podcast this year.
Yep.
So, similar format to last year. Obviously, we're going to bring topics. We had some great nightclub stories last year, which was great. But I thought with our time on, or our overtime, or whatever we want to call it, what we could do is just talk about something completely different that's not sport.
Life related.
That's exactly right. So
Very
we have
happy.
our sports related stuff, but then we just chat about things.
Absolutely.
They may be nightclub related. Obviously, today we're going to talk about something nightclub related, but I think it's good. We're going to have a unique take on sport. We want it to be released probably earlier in the week.
Yep.
We want people to get involved on social media as well. And I think we should have some goals that we set this year as well, like
reckon.
our 2020 vision.
Yes. Yep.
So we kind of started. Do you hear that noise? What was that?
Building falls.
Really? I mean, the Ozcast network building is saved. But, last year we started off having a couple of sporting teams that were interested
Yep.
in our services and
Yep.
our ambassador roles.
Yes.
Are
Well,
they-
I'm going back and playing footy.
What?
Yeah.
Where?
Pulling the boot. Well, I'm playing at Yankalilla,
Right.
and guess who our coach is?
Tell me.
LT.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
So it's come full circle.
It's done full circle. So we were here talking about him in the podcast.
Yeah.
And now he's my coach. I'll see him.
Is he playing
later.
coaching
He
as
is
well?
going to play, yeah.
I don't even know where Yankalilla is. That's down south,
Down
yeah?
south, yeah. So it's probably the last town before Kangaroo Island. So it's
Right.
down Myponga, deep south.
What's the league you're playing in?
Great Southern. So Victor Harbour, Encounter Bay,
You're right.
all that sort of stuff. So It's my first proper season for 7 years. And
what shape are you in?
I'm better now than when I started.
Yeah.
I remember the first night of pre-season, early December. I was so excited. We're down at Yankalilla and a few of my mates are playing down there, and I'd never played footy with them. And, we're kicking the footy and we're warming up. And first drill, first marking attempt, broke my finger.
Oh, not good.
No.
Well, let's hope your season starts. So what I need you to do then, when you start your games, I need a match report after every game. I'll give you a match report after my Masters hockey games on Monday nights.
Yep.
Bring in your playing strip. We'll need to take a photo of that.
Yep.
And we want to get on board a local side this year. Obviously, last year it kind of didn't eventuate. I didn't. What was the team that I was going to look after?
Portland.
Portland.
Yep.
I didn't go to one of their games, and I'm really disappointed about
You live
that.
around the corner.
Exactly. So I think it's important that we jump on a team this year.
Yeah.
The other thing I think is really important is one of the reasons that we got together. We were speaking about nightclubs and things like that. We need to put on a night. We have to do
Absolutely.
that. Now, whether it is a retro night because we did a lot of them or it's just an anything goes night, we'll find a reason to do it. We'll find a venue.
Yep.
Obviously not the venues that you used to look after because that's another conversation altogether and I don't want to get in the paper.
No.
So let's find a venue.
Yep.
We've got enough contacts to do that.
Absolutely.
And we will find a night to do it and it will be fun.
Yes.
It'll be good fun. We'll go there. We will do it, even if we're raising money for something in particular.
Yep.
It'll be a good night.
Yep, I agree.
So that's some of the things that we should work on.
We'll put that together. Absolutely.
Should we talk a bit of sport before we?
Let's do it.
Just talk more shit because I'm glad we're back, mate. It's great to be back.
Yeah, it is. It's really good. We haven't actually seen each other.
No, we haven't.
Probably since
No.
we've talked, but we haven't really hung out. So
Yeah.
How was your off season?
Yeah, I didn't really have much of an off season, to be honest. I think I've been working a fair bit. There's been a fair bit going on. One of the things I've noticed, and we spoke when we were planning about this, talking about what your 2020 vision is, what you see in the future.
Yeah.
Something that I think one of the head coaches of all of our sporting sides collectively
Yep.
will not be at their sporting club
Right.
in the next 12 months.
You don't want to go out on a limb and say who? You're thinking anyway?
I don't think it's football related.
Okay.
But I think there's, I don't know. You know what? Watching our teams over summer, they frustrate me, our Adelaide teams, because
As in United, 36ers. Yep.
Strikers,
Yep.
the Lightning in the WNBL.
Yep.
I think at our best, we're good enough to beat anybody. At our worst, it's really bad.
Yep.
There's no consistency out of any of those sides. So you actually go to a game and you don't know what side's going to turn
Yeah.
up, which as a fan's tough. You look at Adelaide United beat Victory on Friday night, which was great. Victory are crap at the moment.
Yep.
They've definitely got good players, but they're not playing well.
No.
Adelaide didn't necessarily play well, but we got the 3 points. The 36ers, their last couple of games at home, we beat Perth.
Yep.
We beat Melbourne United, and we got pumped by Cairns.
Right.
So it's really hard to determine what team's going to show up. It's the same as the Strikers. The Strikers
they're
really
third.
Yeah, and we just got over the line against the Renegades.
Yeah.
But then we play against Brisbane, who are incredible, and we beat them in 12 overs.
Yeah.
So it's hard to keep up with sport like that at the moment, and I think that's what's going to happen with the footy sides in South Australia as well.
No consistency.
None. What do you think?
It's funny that you talk about, collectively the Adelaide sides. I told you I was going to bring a stat.
Oh, yeah, go
To
for
your
it.
attention.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
So how is this for consistency? In 2010, the San Francisco Giants played and won the World Series.
Right.
In 2012, the San Francisco Giants played and won the World Series.
Are you going to say 2014 they did it as well?
Well, they did. But
Great.
in 2013, the San Francisco 49ers were in the Super Bowl.
Right.
2014, the Giants in the World Series. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, Golden State Warriors were in the NBA Finals.
Yep.
2014, the St. Jose Sharks were in the NHL.
Yep.
Stanley Cup. And 2020, the 49ers are now in the Super Bowl. So for 9 of the last 10 years, San Francisco have had a team in the championship games.
That's pretty good. That's a great stat.
That's outstanding, isn't it?
How did you find that stat?
Just Twitter.
That's good.
I didn't look for it.
I would've claimed it.
I came across it, but I thought that's an amazing stat.
It's a great stat. Yeah, and that's the thing about Adelaide. We had 1 year in 98, 99, I think, where the 36ers won.
Crows.
Crows won.
It would have been 98.
The Thunderbirds won.
Yep.
and all of the teams were happy. There's, you know what, at the Aqaba, there's still like the front page of the Advertiser where they have that, like, a street parade and things like that. That's not going to happen again.
Nah. No way.
No.
I think was did we win the Sheffield Shield that year as well?
Maybe.
Jamie Siddons.
I wish I followed the Sheffield Shield closely enough.
Do you remember? Did you ever used to watch the Mercantile Mutual Cup?
Yes.
And they had the signs around the oval, and if you hit a 6 and it hit the sign, you won.
Because they changed that to ING after a while as well. That was great.
Mercantile Mutual Cup.
Yeah. Well,
it was like 9 o'clock every Saturday morning. There was a game on.
I was living in Tasmania at the time, and Tasmania actually had a song where the players sang, "We're the red, yellow, and green," and the first line was, "Tasmanian Tigers, we're a victory machine." So at that time, Ricky Ponting was playing, Michael Divenuto was playing. They had a pretty good lineup.
Yeah.
But that was cricket's an interesting one at the moment. I've been watching some of the one days on TV. We're very saturated by cricket in summer. There's heaps on.
Well, that was one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is Test cricket stuffed? Is it beyond repair now that, you know, Big Bash is so popular? Even the international 2020s are pretty popular.
Yeah.
And the lack of opposition probably hurts as well. Because I went to a couple of days of the Test here, and it was so lackluster, horrible.
It's funny though, because in we played Pakistan here, didn't we? No one went, but the New Zealand one, especially Boxing Day, people rocked up.
That's right.
I think it's who you're playing as well. So India are here this coming summer, which will be massive. England come over here, which is great. No one goes to watch the West Indies anymore. No one will go and watch Pakistan and things like that. So it depends who is here and when it's on. So like. I understand the appeal of the day-night test, but as you said, like the scheduling is massive. Like you look at the scheduling of the T20s, the Strikers have had 3 o'clock starts.
Can you explain those to me?
Yeah, so the Strikers have nothing to do with it. It's broadcast.
Okay.
Broadcast want to do double headers. So last year the BBL went forever. AFL had started before the BBL final.
Yeah.
So what they want to do is squeeze as many games as possible into a shorter space.
Yeah.
So they can do double headers.
Yep.
They don't necessarily then think about how that's going to affect crowd rocking up, because I think the Strikers had 18,000, 28,000 on a Sunday and then another 18,000. And you don't associate low crowds with the Strikers. Like there's a game on Wednesday when it'll be heaps. Exactly. Yeah. So we play the Stars. Whenever you're listening to this podcast, that will be massive.
Yeah.
But it affects people. And also, like a Friday afternoon when most people are back at work.
Yeah.
Imagine it's your first week back at work. Your boss isn't going to go, you know what, have Friday off as well. Go to the cricket.
Take
mate.
half a day, yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
So why wouldn't they do like a Saturday and Sunday? Why wouldn't you have a triple header? Why wouldn't you have a 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock, a 4 till 7, and then a 7 till 10?
I think that's a good idea. But the other thing that may restrict then is who's available for broadcast, because they're so tight on their budgets when it comes to Seven and Fox about actually having talent to do it.
But it's amazing that you got 2 different teams broadcasting the same game.
Yep. And last year they had 2 different camera operators recording the same feed. I think this year it's just the one feed. They like they do with the Olympics. So they have one international feed and the commentators do it off it. So
I think Premier League's like that as well.
Premier League's like that. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard. Like it affects the crowd. Like if I'm trying to rev up the crowd and there's no one there, it's difficult. You have at the start of the game, if there's 12,000 at the start of the game and you're saying get loud,
oh, mate. So if someone farts out on the hill, you'd be able to hear it.
It's exactly right. And you can hear it. Yes. And that's why we've got Fart Cam at our next game.
Is that better than Kiss Cam? Did you see that bloke get busted on Kiss Cam?
Yeah. I don't mind Kiss Cam. It's okay. But when it's, I think all of the cams, if they're like overkill, then it's a little bit too much.
They do it at the end of every over.
Yeah.
Too much.
We did that at, what did we do? The first AFL X that was at Hindmarsh Stadium.
Yeah, I DJ'd there.
Well, we did a dance cam every bloody time that there was a break, and it's like, let's do another one. and we did a Kiss cam as well. We basically rotated between it. So, yeah, look, I think cricket is... There are purists who will just love Test cricket for the sake of it, because a lot of Test fans hate T20 because they think it's just a Mickey Mouse competition.
Yeah. I get the appeal of it. I get the appeal of 2020. You can take the kids, and it's done in 3 hours.
Yeah,
it's gone. You go to a Test match, say it's just a strictly day one. You're there at 10:30.
Yeah,
you don't leave till 6. Like, it's a long day. If you got young kids, trying to get them to sit still through, not much.
Yeah,
it is tough. So I understand the appeal for Big Bash, but yeah, I feel like Test cricket's definitely suffering as a result.
I agree. All right, so this is a bit of a different setup than what we normally do when we do Best Team Men, which is great because it's our first episode back, and it's kind of like a shorter episode, so we can say we're back and we're going to be consistent.
The
and
intro
it's gonna,
episode.
Yeah, so when are we normally going to drop these? So we'll probably
Wednesday nights.
Wednesday nights,
Yep.
great. So that it's midweek, we can reflect on what's gone and what's coming up, which
Yep.
is awesome.
Absolutely.
So at the end of every episode, we're going to talk about something which is not necessarily sports related, which is great. But we've been wanting to talk about this for a long time, like the past couple of weeks, because we met via working in nightclubs, which is great. And if this is your first time listening to the podcast, we were supposed to be focusing on music and entertaining the crowd, and all we did was talk about sport.
Probably because there wasn't much crowd there. But
Exactly. You were telling me how many dim sims you had preparing for your footy.
I get to do that again this year.
That's brilliant. We'll get a
cannot
dim
wait.
sim update. We need
Yes.
a dim sim sponsor.
Should we? I'll try a different place every week.
I love
and
that.
maybe do a review.
I think you should.
dim sim review.
Yep. I think that is a brilliant addition.
Steamed.
Yeah, steamed. Mate, yeah,
Can't be
bloody
fried
steamed.
before a game.
Oh, that is okay. And we need to get a sponsor, a dim sim sponsor.
I might hit up Yum Sing.
Where's that?
Oh, there's a few of them. There's one at Glenelg and one down south.
Real? It's a
Yeah.
dim sim place.
No, it's a full Chinese setup.
Yeah, good.
But I'll hit them up.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
Can you guys just give me half a dozen every Friday night and we'll plug you on the podcast?
Okay.
They'll probably say no.
Yeah,
but
you're
that's
no
all right.
chance
I'll be
of
paying
getting.
for them.
Just give them an audio sample, and we'll put we'll go take a photo there. Okay, so yeah, I remember as well. Like I think I spoke about this last year. One of the best memories that we were. This shows how long ago this was and how good this player was. There was like a 16-year-old Ross Barkley playing for Everton.
Yep.
And that was at the Grand. We were there, and we're like, this kid's amazing, and he's just a freak.
Yep.
But in Adelaide. One of the establishments that you have worked at, I think I've hosted something there before. I didn't,
Yep.
not consistently, I don't think. HQ is gone.
Gone.
And can you talk me through this?
Yeah, so obviously everyone will think of HQ on West Terrace.
Yeah,
Was
so,
obviously that was there for
I went to Time
years,
Warp
10
on
years or-
Wednesday nights there at Heaven when it was Barbarella,
Jackie J.
Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
That was great. I won a box of cruises by singing Crocodile Rock from Elton John. There.
A few fruit beers.
It was the best. I used to dance on the podiums up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It was brilliant.
So everyone will associate HQ with that.
Yeah.
Then obviously they sold it
Yep.
and they made bank. Like they would have made that much just because of the location.
Yep.
I think someone wanted to buy it and build some high rises there because of the hospital and all that sort of stuff. And they decided to rebuild on Hindley Street. Fair enough. You've got the money to do it. You want to keep your legacy going. That's fine. They just got it so wrong.
Why?
Structurally, the room was just... God, the best way to describe it, it just felt soulless.
Did anybody go?
For the first couple of months, and then it really started to deteriorate.
Right.
You used to walk into the old one, and it just had character, and
Yeah.
you know the AV, the sound and lighting. Like you knew you were in a super club. And this one just felt like a big square concrete block, and yeah, the sound was pinging around everywhere, and it was just
Not the only thing.
They just got. It's not bad, buddy. They just got it wrong. I feel like they rushed it as well.
Yeah.
Because they were shut for quite a while and they kept pushing back the opening date and
Yeah.
they just rushed it and they got it all wrong. And then I think within 3 or 4 months of the new one being open, the whole team had turned around. So the promotions team, the marketing team had all been flipped and it was all new people.
Young?
Yeah, young. Yep.
Oh, we're old now, so
We're old,
anyone's
yeah.
young compared to us.
So that had all changed. So, you know, all of a sudden the A-grade team that were running the old one so successfully weren't involved anymore. Mm-hmm. And then you had a group of new people who had never done it before.
Yep.
All of a sudden trying to, you know, take over the biggest club in probably Australia.
So what did you write on your Facebook? Were people messaging you saying,
so-
can you get me DJ work?
At Red Square, yeah.
Because they don't have DJ work at HQ anymore.
That's right, yep.
Mate.
Bar staff and promoters and
And it's people
all
just
sorts
coming
of
out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Because that happens to me so
Yeah.
much. It's like my two biggest ones are hey, mate, how you going? Long time no speak.
Yeah. Hey, brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just wondering if there's a chance I can grab some 36s tickets.
Yeah.
Or The best one is when they go, no, I can't be that direct. Hey, mate, do you know where I can get 36s tickets
Waiting for
from?
you to offer them.
Yeah, and how much they are. And I'll write
Fucking
back.
Ticket Tech, mate.
Yeah, go to the website and you'll be able to find out. Like, I'm getting better at seeing through that stuff, but far out, it shits me.
It does, yeah. I copped it. And these people were people that, you know, I'm involved at Red Square and I tried to get them there 18 months ago and they didn't want to know me.
The funniest thing is when you write something like that on social media, then people message you as well and go, wait, he's talking about, you're not talking about me, are you?
And you know what I say back? If you think it's about you, it's probably about
100%.
you.
Yeah, I got that from I'm trying to not say their name or sport that they play, but I was close.
Say it.
I was told it was someone who plays sport here in Adelaide, and I put on something like, I actually named and shamed them. Like, this person asks for free stuff all the time. They message me saying, no, I don't, do I? And I'm like, here are all the times you've asked me for free things.
Proof. Here's proof.
It's funny, though, because the more high profile and more money you have, the more you expect shit for free.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it?
No, it's ridiculous. Well, rest in peace, AG. What are they doing with the space?
I don't know. I've got a plan for it. So if anyone's got a spare couple mil laying around and they want to invest, I'd love to turn it into a big indoor paintball arena.
That's nice.
Imagine decking it out like a big warehouse.
And people go there at night time where they're blind.
No, it wouldn't be a nightclub. Okay. Imagine that.
Is Hindley Street disgusting still? Because I avoid it.
Yeah, it is. It's very young. But like you said, we're old now. So
we're so old,
We're so old.
I know. I went to bed at 8 o'clock last night.
Did you love it?
Loved it.
Yeah.
I woke up at 3 o'clock and ate chocolate-coated Chicos. I did. Because my dog has diarrhea, so she went out and did a shit. So I'm listening to her go while I'm eating chocolate-coated Chicos in the middle of the night.
Hey, here's one for you. If you're not watching anything on Netflix at the moment, watch the Aaron Hernandez story.
I saw you tweet about that.
Amazing.
Yeah?
Well, not amazing. He killed people, but
it's probably not that good.
No, but it's fascinating. That's probably the better word for it. Yeah.
I watched the Dennis Rodman 30 for 30.
Good.
Incredible.
Yep.
If you think you know Dennis Rodman, like you, if I say Dennis Rodman, you already have a
You
idea.
think loud, like coloured hair and
Yeah,
tats
yeah. So I met him once, and he came into the show that I was working on, and I was like that. He refused to drink water if the seal on the lid was cracked and stuff like that.
Bit of a
just
diva.
Bit of a diva. But you look at his story, and it's full on. So I'll watch yours, you watch
I'll
mine.
Watch yours. Yep.
It's good to be back.
It is, mate.
Cheers. Shake hands. We just
worries.
shook hands. Good tats. You're looking
Thank you.
good.
Yeah. Feeling crap.
Feeling great. And how do people get involved on social media?
Okay, so Best Team Men on Facebook and at Best Team Men on Twitter.
Great. Now, last year we had the option of giving away some vouchers to the pubs that you represented, but obviously that's in the hands of lawyers now.
There's a couple of blokes, Glenn Aikman and James Brock, they listen religiously.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they love it. No, I used to work with them at those venues. And
Glenn's in jail now.
No, they're good fellas and they have a listen and they always wanted to shout out and I always denied them of it. But now,
there it is.
Now while we're talking about our failed work.
No, it wasn't
failed.
failed.
It wasn't our fault. It wasn't our fault.
We keep it cash, mate. Let's go to the pier later. No, let's not. All right, see you, mate.
See you next week.
Did you say see a sex swing? See a sex swing?
See ya, sexy.
See a sex swing?
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.